Welcome to another episode of Run with Julia. But actually, it's Gym with Jamie and Julia. I am here. I'm going to, in a minute, be taken round Gymnasium by Jamie. So Jamie, and as you can hear, very important, we're in a coffee shop with a Christmas tree. We've done a kind of properly Christmassy theme, Christmas tree behind us. But Jamie, could you introduce yourself and tell us about you and what you do here and what maybe we're doing today? I know a little bit of what we're doing today, but I'll let Jamie tell you.
Okay, hello, I'm Jamie. So I'm a coach, probably, is the main thing. But I coach calisthenics, gymnastics and flexibility. It's probably sort of the nutshell. But really I just work on people in their bodies to help them develop towards either skills or ways of moving more so that they would like to, which is kind of what we're doing here today.
Yes.
Well, we talked about balancing the body and just finding ease and freedom of movement in the running stride. I think this is what we're after.
Which is going to be
today.
really useful for all of you because, as you know, I work with a slight imbalance, and my chiropractor, we've looked at the video, he said there's a slight left leg drag still. But I think a lot of runners have slight imbalances, and Jamie helps people become very body aware.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that particularly with imbalances, it's like I was aware of imbalances all the way through my competitive career and had imbalances in my body when I was achieving at the highest level, and do have imbalances in my body to this day. And I think what we're moving towards is more cultivating an awareness of how to move with the body that you have. It's not that there's a problem with the imbalance. It's not. I mean, what is
well,
there?
we are
in
our body, aren't we? And I always think that, Jamie, that really, if we try to overcorrect something, that doesn't necessarily work because it's kind of we're in our own body, with its own, ways of being. So,
Well, this is it, right? And an imbalance, even that terminology in itself supposes a perfect model.
Yes. Yeah.
And actually, your body is as it is right now. There may be things about it which impede you from doing the things that you would like to do, but those things can always be worked on. But then I think it's not that there's something which needs to be solved in order to arrive at the place where you can do the thing. It's more that by working on the things which seem to be impeding, you walk the path of doing the thing you want to do.
Yeah, that makes complete sense.
I always thought with skills about a skill or a movement pattern is something that another human being sees, and we move our bodies in particular ways. So with running, you jet your knees up and down and swing your arms, and then another human being will observe that and go, aha, this person is running, They don't know about your imbalance. Like you were saying in the video, you said that you were aware of things going on in your body, but I watched the video and I just see, oh, well, yeah, there's a very good runner.
And I was saying to Jamie that when I'm running, I can occasionally feel pain in my left knee, I feel occasionally in my hip, occasionally in the shoulder, occasionally in the foot, and you may all be aware of that as runners. We often have things hurting, but we're running along, and the video I looked like I was running along, didn't I?
Absolutely. And yeah.
Also, before we go around the gym, I've got a sweet little dog over there, as you can hear. Before we go around the gym, you mentioned your professional career. Could you just tell people who haven't met you before, because I know we've done a video before, could you tell us your career?
So I was a thing called an acrobatic gymnast, which is like being a circus artist. So I worked with the partners who I threw up and down in the air, and I did that in a competitive sport called acrobatic gymnastics, and I was on the British team for 3 years, and we did 2 World Cups and got a silver medal at the European Championships back in 2019. And then I retired from that and built up this private coaching business with all the knowledge and experience from there. Although there's a lot of knowledge and experience from the business itself now, to be honest.
We're very fortunate you do this. It's such fun. And I've made my way over to London Bridge, which is a little outing. And we've got our little dog friend. So now we're going to go around the gym and show you where we are. Okay, the gym tour. I like the sound of the trains overhead.
Good.
Yeah.
So this is Gymnasium in London Bridge.
Gymnasium, London Bridge. There we are.
We're about a 7-minute walk from London Bridge Station. The Shard is there, but you can't see it because the roof is in the way.
I tell you, when I suddenly saw the Shard, I suddenly had this urge to go to the top and drink cocktails. Given I don't drink, but I know people serve cocktails at the top.
And we're going to go down here. We're just getting this out for later. But there's another arch all in here. This is where I run my calisthenics class on Mondays.
Tell us about your calisthenics class so anyone might want to come along.
Oh yeah, so I do, well we're going to go this way. I do a calisthenics class here on Mondays at 7:30 in the evening, which is just calisthenics fundamentals, foundational skills, so that people can come along and learn how to do the basics, and then from that build whatever they want to. So we're going to go all the way down the end.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. So we've got all this lovely space.
Oh.
This is where we're going to do our session this morning. This is our first bit of alignment for building nice posture. So I asked Julia to think about putting her heels underneath her hips. And we need to imagine that there's a red chalk line around the feet, like a box. And then I've asked Julia to imagine a little yellow ball just behind her belly button. Now, as long as the little yellow ball is inside of the red box, then Julia will be on balance. But if she takes the yellow ball out of the red box, then she falls over. So that's the principle of balance in the human body, which is center of mass over base of support. Now what we want to do is take control of the yellow ball so that we can then influence our movement in accordance with this principle. So what we do is we draw in the core lightly as if you were holding a little yellow bird, and in the sides as well and through the back. Allow the shoulder blades to slip down the back and then long through the back of the neck, so that we end up with this nice, tall, sort of neutral posture. Now I've not told Julia this part yet. What we're gonna go for is I'd like you to just move the little yellow ball forwards and then let your legs catch you and come into a normal walk. Yeah, and then walk. Keep moving forwards, but just by moving that ball. Yeah? So you're not choosing to walk, you're just letting them catch you. Yeah? And then you can turn around and come back this way. And see if you can now naturalize that movement. So let it be a bit more, if you look across at me, let it be like this, like you're just walking and catching yourself. Yeah, that's it. And now disguise it and make it look like you're normal walking, but let us know that that's what you're doing. You're moving that little yellow ball forwards and you're letting your legs catch you. Now remember the standing posture. Be drawn in through the core, drawn in through the sides. And now smoothen out the catch of your foot so it's less. So we're now looking at Julia's walking, but with this concept of the little yellow ball moving forwards. And what I've told her to do is to imagine pressing through her leg, getting taller up through the standing posture every time she goes. But what we're doing is that forwards walk, falling forwards, pressing up tall through the leg. And while we're doing that, she's remembering that standing posture that we had at the beginning, the standing position, and we can see nice clean line. Brilliant. So we've moved on to our first lot of exercises to promote this standing posture. So Julia's got the band around the calves, feet are parallel facing me. She's going to come down into a deep squat, well, a medium squat. Hands are pressed together strong down through the back, and then we're taking sideways steps. And what I've asked Julia to really focus on is being powerful with this leg, pressing herself that way, keeping drawn in all the while to that little yellow ball. Really working. And we're going to go all the way to this whiteboard. So this exercise is very much similar to the last one, except now we're facing forwards and Julia's going to start walking this way. So the feet are facing forwards again as best as possible. Come a little bit deeper into your squat, Julia. And pushing the band out as we come forwards. And she's got to come all the way to this plug. Push, 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 push. And then half turn to go back the other way.
It's really hard. You will have to say what band this is.
What band this is. So we're not sure exactly what, we'll find out exactly what tension it is. But this sort of thin black band doubled over. Okay, squat a bit deeper, draw into your core. Maintain that connection. Hands pressed together. Strong down through your back into your middle. Forward walk. Coming all the way to the whiteboard.
That is amazing. I tell you, it makes me feel like I haven't done any work on my glutes in my whole life.
Really?
So we'll let you know what band this is at the end. Because this is like, for runners, bottom, you know. Thank you, Jamie. Right, next.
That's all right. Okay.
So this is a 35, it's rubbed off, but 35 to 65 pound band, and it's very botany.
Very, very good. And it doesn't cost 35 to 65 pounds.
That's the thing.
Yeah, the tent. Yeah. And then what you do with it is you just double it over. So you double it over like this, and then it just goes around your calves. The place on your calf that you really want it is sort of like the crest of the muscle here. And if you want more resistance, you can actually put it lower, but this is a really nice place. And if you look at the way that Julia's knees are slightly turned out, slightly pointing that way, but the feet are parallel forwards. This is what's going to really get into the glute and the hamstring. Okay, so we've moved on to the second exercise. These are single leg calf raises. And what we're doing now is connecting the core, connecting the hip to the feet. This is our point of contact with the ground. So what Julia has to do is press up through her toe as if pointing into the floor. The heel comes down, is just tapping on the floor, but you're not relinquishing your weight to the heel. Meanwhile, she's keeping drawing in her core, drawing, long through the back of the neck so that the whole body is stacked up on top of the foot, okay? And she's going for 25. Yeah, okay, time to hold. She's done 25 reps, and now we're doing 10 seconds holding in position. 3, 2, 1. There we go, brilliant. Yeah?
This is so hard. It's so interesting that simple exercises that we as runners probably don't do enough of because we just go running. That's awesome, and I can feel how vital it is to the whole thing we do when we run. We need this whole chain. Yeah. So next one.
Brilliant.
It's so interesting, just doing the one at a time, and 25 of them. You really, really feel it the whole way up the leg and all the way into the hip, and into the whole body. And of course, in running, that's what we're doing. We're going up on our toes all the time, aren't we? Amazing. Thank you, Jamie.
Brilliant.
Next.
Yeah, next. Yeah, sorry. So for the people, that was 25 reps followed by a 10-second hold at the top. And when I say at the top, fully extended pointed toe, drawing into the position. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to move on to warming up the core, building the core the way you're holding that little yellow ball, which is so central to all of these postural positions. So we're going to build a dish shape. Now the way we get into this, if Julia goes back on her back, you're going to lie down in a ball, and then you're going to reach your arms up to the ceiling with the palms facing backwards. Reach your arms up, shoulders off the floor. Yeah, shoulders off the floor, that's good. And then crunch this position in. So bring yourself up, arms length along your body. Yeah. So we've got the lower back is connected to the floor, shoulder blades are up through here, and the arms are long. Now take your legs straight up to the ceiling. And now you're going to lower your legs down into position and find a place where you can maintain your lower back on the floor and bring the legs down. So now the work has started in the abdomen and we've started doing time. Julia's going to go for a 45-second hold today. So you may not be able to get your legs quite this low when you first start doing this exercise, but that's completely fine. It's all about finding a place where your lower abdomen is doing work and your lower back is down to the floor and you've got this nice rounded shape in the shoulders. You're at 21 seconds, Julia. Now, as you're going through the exercise, keep breathing. When you breathe out, a little bit more round up the shoulders, lengthen the arms, draw in the stomach. So we're re-establishing the position as it goes because it's going to want to break down. 10 seconds to go. Doing very well. And it's all about keeping strength and control in the middle. And relax there. How was that, Julia?
I didn't do the minute. I said to Jamie said, how long can you do you think? I said, do whatever you want. Whatever you want. 45 seconds was plenty. I've got a very good poker face. I'm very good at looking as if nothing's hurting. It hurts.
Okay, so we're moving on to our second isometric core position, which is a side plank. Now what I've been talking to Julia about is how we're going to set up this position. So first you have to draw into your core. That has to be established and in place. And then we're pressing out through that arm, really connecting into the floor. From there you're going to rise up into the position. Yeah, exactly like this. So we rise up into the position, really consciously pushing that arm into the floor, almost like friction, drawing into the stomach and building the shape. And now we're on for time. So what we've got going on here is this top hip is slightly rotating inwards so that Julia can get her core in, and that gives us this nice aligned position. Slightly, Julia, sort of press your...
I hope you've got a watch on this.
I do. You've done 25 seconds. With your bottom shoulder there, press open a little bit more. Yeah, this is good, giving us a nice line. We want that top shoulder to be a bit more on top. So if you look at me, like that. Yeah, good. That was camera work and coaching at the same time. Okay, 3, 2, 1, and down. Brilliant, good.
These are very good. I hope that you enjoy this when you do it. Brilliant coaching by Jamie. Because it is getting the actual position makes lots of difference.
Okay, so in gymnastics, the core is the front, the back, and the sides. Oh, sorry, the front, the sides, and the back. So now we're doing the back. So this is a back arch position. So what Julia's going to do is extend her arms out in front with a slight external rotation. So you see the way her hands are turned this way, trying to relax the shoulders down and away from the neck, and then it's quads and chest off the floor as high as you can. And we were just talking about this idea of trying to rock back towards your hips, but it's like a rock that never ends. So you go back towards them, but then you don't come back the other way. Try to go feet and knees together. This is quite tricky. And then it's the same as the other positions. You're rising up, trying to cultivate this sense of a shape which is always being built up as opposed to being held. You don't need to hold these positions in place. You are building them. I'll maybe talk about this a bit more at the end again. So, 15 seconds to go, Julia. 10 seconds to go. Good, and 5 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. Brilliant, there we go.
Hard. That was hard. These exercises are good because they show you where you're not as stretchy as you'd like to be, maybe.
So we've activated the hips and the core. So now we're going to move on to the shoulders. So we get this total body synergistic activation. So we're going to do a front support position. If you pop your hands on the floor, Julia. There we go. And then we need to rise up through the shoulder blades. We're going to do the shoulder protraction, okay? Julia's also maintaining a nice space between her ear and her shoulder. Bring your shoulder a little bit further forwards. There we go. And now pop your feet up into place. And we're going to go for a posterior tilt in the hips. So this is just drawing the hips underneath. Yeah, it's quite a subtle action. Could you just do it again, Julia? So if the hips are up, yeah, there we go. That's it. Now, so we're going for time. The key thing with this one is that those shoulders are going to want to sink down as the hold goes on. So what I've told Julia to do is every time she breathes out, she's rising up through her back, drawing into that little yellow ball in the core, keeping the hips drawn in and underneath. We've got just about 20 seconds to go. So the shape's looking like this. We've got hands underneath shoulders from both sides, keeping this nice rounding in the back. 10 seconds to go, Julia. And then drawing those hips in underneath. So they've started to just creep up a little bit towards the back end of the hold. So just draw that posterior tilt in a bit more. Hips a bit more towards the floor, but keep the orientation. That's really good. 3, 2, 1. Good, nice.
like a piece of art. I feel like I was going to stay there forever. Some piece of experiential art.
Fantastic. Okay, last position we've got for this morning is called a back support. So the hands are set up behind the body. Now it's kind of like the intention of pushing the floor away behind you. Your feet are quite far out over there. And then we're going to press the hips up into the air. And also pull the abdomen down and in. So the hips are going up, but the abdomen is pulled in. And that's sort of like they're kind of opposing forces, but it locks your body in this nice line. And then whilst we're here, it's just a continual sense of pressing the shoulders open, drawing into the core. And very much the same as the other positions, it just keeps building and building. So the hips are going to want to drop down as Julia stays in the position. So they have to continue to rise up. You've got 20 seconds to go, Julia. And that rising up in the hips comes from pressing into the floor. So you push through the arms, draw into the core, rise up. And we've got 5 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1. There we go.
Am I good at my poker face? That was amazing. And it's all the things you have to do, like push up and pull in and push back. It's incredible. And now my energy just feels whoosh. Incredible. Really, this is so good. I think all runners should do these.
Fantastic.
Definitely, Jamie. Thank you.
Brilliant. Okay, so we're just having a look at how we can apply everything we've just learned to running itself. So we start building that standing posture. So we're drawn in through the core. We've got a lovely sense of lightness. Now I talked about this red chalk line. It's an imaginary red chalk line around the feet. And there's a little yellow ball. We need like graphics. Like bing. Now we're going to take the little yellow ball just to the edge of the red box. So Julia's sort of perched on the balls of her feet. She's going to start doing a little bit of bouncing up and down. I crashed into that. Little bit of bouncing up and down. Now while she's doing this, she's imagining staying in that standing posture. So drawing in, getting taller. So there's a real sense of lightness. And now all she's going to do is move the yellow ball forwards. Lean the yellow ball forwards. And it just naturally turns into running. And again, what she's concentrating on in this moment, if we come back the other way, what she's concentrating on is the little yellow ball moving outside of the box, and her body is naturally doing the rest of the work for her. Your leg will reach underneath you to catch yourself. You actually have to put conscious effort into the leg not reaching to catch you.
You don't have to run. Your body runs for you. So we don't have to make any effort. Just lean forward and our body runs.
Lean forwards and run.
Let the running happen.
Let's try something. What I'd like you to do, if you actually wanted to run faster, try this thing which I call amplifying the movement. So once you're in motion and you can get sensitive to how your body's moving, let that grow and get bigger and brighter. Okay? So, perch on the edge, start to move that ball in front, feel the movement, and now amplify the movement. Amplify, light it up. Yeah. So starting slow, the ball's rolling. You feel how your body's moving, and you just sort of let it get bigger.
It just happens. We're at London Bridge Station. Can we see the ta-da, London Bridge Station?
Yes.
And it's really near, isn't it? How far? 7 minutes?
Yeah, 7 minutes walk from London Bridge to Gymnasium, and it's literally just down the road and turn right, more or less.
More or less. It's down the road and turn right. And it's a lovely gym. I loved it. Jamie, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Brilliant fun.
So if people want to train with you, you have classes and one-on-one.
Yeah, so at Gymnasium I have a Calisthenics foundation class where we look at fundamental skills, but it's like it's the foundation that from which you could build any of the more advanced stuff that you want to. I tend to do my one-to-one training for the people skills, but I also do one-to-one coaching at the gym, and have a website which is coachjamie.co.uk, or you can find me on Instagram at coachjamie.
Have you got an underscore?
Yeah, what is it? At _coach.jamie_. And it looks like me. If you want to do any work of any kind.
Yeah, and he's brilliant. He is brilliant. So thank you, Jamie.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for running with me? Because I'm prepared to run now. So watch this space.